Hello, hello, hello. Welcome once again to Unzipping, yet another episode of this series. If this is your first time here, what I'm doing is I'm taking a first look at a game that it caught my eye, but I had never had the chance to read before. So, pretty much like unboxing, but for PDFs. Today, we are featuring Changelings by a Polish author that I have to check the name if I so I don't make any mistakes on the pronunciation. I'm sorry, my Polish is very limited, but it's Paweł Jakub Domownik. If I'm wrong, please correct me on the comments. But so I got this game about a week ago, and it's currently on the bundle for Ukraine. So that's why I came. That's how I came across, and it really caught my eye, and it has some interesting layout. So, but as I said, this series is about looking at games that I didn't read. So anything I know about this game is what you can find here on the page, on the each page. So if you want to get this game, the link is on the description of this video, and it's, as I said, also part of the bundle for Ukraine. So currently you can get like almost 1,000 games for $10. So it's a very good deal. So I was just looking through the all the games. It's like more than 300 tabletop RPGs on this bundle, and I sought this one, and I opened the page, and I saw these spreads here with an interesting combination of a sort of punk vibe in the pictures, together with a kind of a classic, almost I don't know, Art Nouveau design with pastel colors. So this contrast between these things, this aesthetic, goth punk aesthetic, and this kind of Art Nouveau details really caught my eye. And the theme of Changelings is the fae and the fairy folk is something that I always loved. Although I have to say, I am not very familiar with the original, I don't know if I can call it that, World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness Changeling games. I don't think this one has anything to do with it. But all I know about those games, the 90s and 2000 games, I've read through forums or I've heard through friends that are fans of the game. So yeah, I'm sorry. That's just something that was out of my radar while I grew up playing RPGs. So I'm coming to Changelings, The Magic and the Fury, that's the subtitle of the game, without a basis of comparison to Changeling. I think the names are The Dreaming and Changeling the Lost from the World of Darkness series, right? So no comparison expected. Maybe if I find, I don't know, maybe some terminology or some aspects that I've heard, I can establish a comparison, but don't expect that, okay? So as you can see, it's a gorgeous game. I really like the use of art and mixed with this. It can feel a little busy, but also very clean and light at the same time. Right? It's like a Mork Borg, but instead of heavy metal, it's Art Nouveau, if it makes any sense, and with like just 2 or 3 fonts instead of 50. Right? So let's start by looking at what the game page itself says. So this is a role-playing game about changelings, i.e. fey creatures, the elves, the fairy, the fair folk, inhabiting human bodies. So changelings are those substitutes, right? In the tradition fairy legends, that they change a like a human baby for a fairy baby. While in the mortal realm, they must control their conflict nature while fighting for the cause that called them on Earth. So I'm assuming here they're here with a very specific mission, right? Who are the characters here? The changelings. Okay. The Fae left this world as the civilization developed and banality ruled. This term, I suppose I've seen it when people talked about the World of Darkness games, right? So there is this balance between glamour, that's the thing that changelings want, and banality, that the things that kind of mitigate or extinguish their magic or their lives. Something like that. I don't know. If you're a changeling expert, please let me know in the comments. Now, recalled by human dreams of a better world, they return as changelings, infuriated with the world that once rejected them, with the people who killed the magic and replaced it with Excel spreadsheets. Well, I can relate. The fairy, wearing a human body, finds a cause to fight for. They come to help the weak and the excluded. So interesting. The fairy folk left our planet, now returned to like fight against the system of oppression. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Right. In the world, it's an urban fantasy with glimmers of hope and magic in this exhausted, dirty world. The world burns with climate catastrophe, inequality, corporations, and politicians. So it's pretty much our world. Billionaires resembling Bond villains. Yep. The third decade of the 21st century. Okay, so yeah, that's where we are. There's a glimmer of hope. Rules. Changelings are a hack of whites. I don't know this game. I want to look at it. They use the mechanics, structures, and the world of the original to give players new possibilities. The rules are based on the game Lasers and Feelings. Oh, nice. If you're watching this, you probably are familiar with Lasers and Feelings. That's the John Harper one page RPG that has been hacked hundreds of times. So the thing was created with short, action-packed sessions in mind, played without prior preparation. Okay, sounds like my jam. No knowledge of the original is required. Excellent. So you can get this game for $3, or you can get it on the bundle, right? So let's do it. I already bought it in the bundle. Let's download the game. That's the unpacking. So there's a character sheet and the high resolution file, 160 megabytes. That's a hefty file, high resolution indeed. Let's download it. There you go. So we are talking 36 pages. It's a short game on the shorter side. I wonder why is it so the file so big. I am assuming this is a print ready file. You can print it at home with high quality, and that's why it's 160 megabytes. But it's just 36 pages. So as usual, what I'm going to do first is flip through just to get a feel of it. Okay, it's rendering. Okay. It's always nice to see when the designer chose to design spreads. You see those two pages like that. It really flows through. So you see, the vibe I get here is this. Now, reading the description of the game on the each page, you can see the choice of aesthetics, how it reinforces the themes of the game, because we have on one side, like this guy, this is this sounds, this looks like revolution, right? And also there is hope, there's a glimmer of hope. So this clash between those pastel colors and the decoration, the art nouveau decoration, with this punk aesthetic, and the anarchy symbols here, it speaks to me like this kind of, this is a, the world burns, and we are infuriated against the system, but we are still fair folk, and we, there's this glimmer of magic that still lives, right? That's a very cool set of illustrations. We're going to look at the credits to see where it comes from. The author talked to me and he said that the Polish version actually got a short print run. And I just wonder how nice this will look printed, right? It's a very satisfying look. Okay, it takes a while to render because of the file size. Yeah, it's very, look at this page. This spread is super cool. I love this one as well. And then there's a gameplay, sample gameplay. How do you make checks? Okay. And some tables, a lot of tables. Love it. Okay. All right. So after this flip through, let's start from the beginning, shall we? Okay, the cover communicates everything that we just said. So there's a kind of a dragon behind this person, and they have this attitude of, there's, you see, you can see on the posture that there is a posture of not giving up, of fighting, but also you can kind of get, it's not a person that is broken, that has given up. It's a person that has hope, and there's magic and beauty still in the world. That's what I get from this this cover. And also, of course, the subtitle makes complete sense now. The magic and the fury, both things together to bring this visual and this game to life, right? Any sufficiently advanced magic is indistinguished from bombs. Cool. So as I said, this game is by Paweł Jakub Domownik, and art designing layout by him as well, and translation by Janek Sielik. And there is a proofreading for the Polish version. The author is a member of, can I pronounce this? Stowarzyszenie Awangarda. Okay. Based on Whites by Łukasz Kolodziej. And it's licensed at Creative Commons. So what we have, what's the contents here? We have the characters, about changelings, an example of gameplay, how to roll dice and make the checks, I suppose, and game aids. And here's the credit of the art. Art design means that Paweł took some public domain art. I can see Unsplash here on a lot of time, a lot of places, and Free Peak as well. A lot of public domain art, Pixabay, and repurposed it. As I said before in this series, it's amazing to see what indie designers and developers are able to do, repurposing public domain images. And as you can see, he achieved a very impressive result. Now, okay, it's a hack of whites. It says again. I gotta check this afterwards. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Whites RPG. Is this one maybe? Adult content. No, I don't think it is. No, I'll have to find it later on. Let's go back. The theme. It's about fake creatures inhabiting human bodies. They have to control their conflicting nature and fighting for the cause. Okay, then there's two paragraphs about changelings that are the same that's on each page. They come to help the weak and excluded. After all, the fairy godmother helped Cinderella, not the rich and powerful stepmother. Makes sense. Disclaimer. I want you to have fun. That's why I encourage reading about the basic game session safety rules. Okay. Choose and use the tools your group find the most suitable. Always a clever choice. Okay. Character creation. Let's go. Let's see. Each player has to choose one of each: a cause, an arch enemy, a court, a geas, is that how I pronounce it? And the character's approach and resources. So a character in this game is composed by the 6 characteristics. Cause. If there's a place where people dream of a better tomorrow, changelings might appear there. Okay. They're full of wrath and anger. Word. So choose a cause for a changeling and think about as many details as you fit. Having a similar cause is a great way to form a connection among several changelings. Makes sense. Okay, but there's 8 examples, like saving the city park from real estate developers. I approve that. Stopping a corporation from taking over a small family business, and so on. This kind of reminds me of Good Neighbors. This is a setting for Fate Core or Fate Accelerated. I think that's one of those words of adventure that you live in a city that's neighboring a Fey kingdom, and the city is fighting against a corporation that's trying to destroy the nature. So those causes kind of are reminiscent for me at that game. It's a very good one, by the way. I worked on the Portuguese translation. Revealing proof that a corporation is poisoning the environment. So there's all this kind of nature aspects, environmental challenges against corporation capitalism. It's important to choose the scope because maybe you have to rebuild the world and might take a few game sessions. It's better to start with something more simple. Okay, makes sense. I'm curious with this here, where do changelings come from? But what about their bodies? There are several options, depending on our ideas. Swapped with a human baby, use the body of a comatose person, okay? Using the real form, the human form is an illusion. Crazy Fae can possess humans. Okay, so that's different ways that you use a human body. Pretty cool. So the second aspect, a cause, an arch enemy. Examples: a celebrity, egocentric celebrity, duplicitous priest, corrupt politician, greedy CEO. Okay. The cause does not have a simple solution because of this. So you have something that you want and something that is standing in your way. That's pretty much the basics of drama storytelling, right? what the characters want, what's stopping them from getting it. And that's why the arch enemy is the second thing here. Sex, magic, and videotapes. They are born of primeval magic and dreams. Changelings sometimes do not fully understand the intricacies of modern society. It may happen that to kick their arch-enemy's ass, instead of organizing grassroots movements and a lot, they will choose a more direct approach. Subterfuge, violence, blackmail, and making fun of a powerful person are more in line with the changeling's nature. Sometimes I think it's better, but hey, your changelings can be different. Okay, this is a very particular aspect of changelings in this game, I suppose, that since they don't get those nuance of living in a modern society, they might instead choose a kind of a direct confrontation of the arch enemy, even if that's not probably the best way, but it can be. Cool. So you choose a cause, you choose your arch enemy, now you choose your court. What is it? There are more fairy courts than stars in the sky. Okay. Some are powerful, others are small. It determines your powers and appearance. Okay. You begin with a power assigned to the first dot. We will see about that later. Cool. Because they're born of dreams and legends, they're infinitely moldable. You can match any chord to any power and form, or make your own. Okay, so we have here 3, 6, 8 chords. So those, I don't know if the original World of Darkness used the same division to you. So courts, I know that we have like clans for vampire. Maybe it's courts. Yeah, court sounds like a name attached to fairies. What kind of courts we have? Red caps, big and sharp teeth, gargoyle, stone skin, fawn, goat legs, small horns. And okay, now I understand the first dot. Each one has this one power. This is the first dot, and then I think you, through character advancement, it can get to the others. So you can chew through anything, can jump, cause panic, freeze, strength. What else? We have gremlins that can break any machine. That sounds cool. I also see airy face, bark covered body, luminous vortex in place of flags. Oh, this is nice. I think that will be the one that I chose. Illusion magic to change their face. Changeling can create an illusion. Okay. Sprites, butterfly wings, petite build, glowing body. I like this one too. Like the classic idea of a fairy, like Tinkerbell. Transform into an animal. That sounds like my jam. Speak with animals. And Morvark. Crane feet, small flames at the tip of each finger. Oh, this is nice. I wonder, as well as I'm not familiar with the game, I'm not familiar with the original folklore regarding Fey folk. I wonder if those names and characteristics can be found in the like original literature regarding fairies. Teleport. Ooh. Speed. Draw portal. And then there's Sluag. Tall, white skin. Speak with the dead. Ooh, nice. Spiritual form and control ghosts. Oh, this is that's a very interesting one as well, huh? So yeah, I think this gives a lot of flavor to the character, as well as your powers. If you're playing this game and you're very experienced with the Phi folklore, you could make your own or import from other games quite easily. Now we have the geese. I don't know how to pronounce this, and I don't know what this is. Okay, so this is like a mark that draws attention and causes trouble. You have like something that shows through, even if you are in human form, I guess, like dragon claws. Oh no, that's it's like an impulse. The changeling, don't have literal dragon claws. You feel the urge to gather gold, and or you have a curse that you burn at sunlight. You're addicted to something. Uh, you make machines stop working, and this is not related directly to the court you chose. You can mix and match. A mirror reveal your true form. So things that will bring you trouble. It's mushroom circles sprout near their home, etc. This is very flavorful. You see, with like two choices or three, you already give a lot of character to your character, so to speak. And no numbers yet, just little snippets of fiction that help you ground the fictional positioning of your character. And now I think that we go to the lasers and feelings aspect. So you are torn between the banality and the dreams. You can use both approaches. You use dreams when you're like inspiring, convincing, tempting, using magic, etc. Or you use banality or approach with banality to destroy, fight, use technology, harm, take. So you give it a value between 2 to 5, which is the same range from lasers and feelings. So if you choose a low value, it means you're closer to banality, so you're better at banality. A high value, you're better at dreams. Cool. And then you have your clothes and 2 items, like a weapon, a firearm, which is that's peculiar, a hideout, a vehicle, a full wallet, or an ally. Details: name, backstory, appearance, draw a picture, and I think your character is done. This is an example character. Okay. Well, I think we should take a look at the character sheet. I haven't seen it on the book. Let's download it real quick. Let's see how it looks. There you go. Following the same aesthetic. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. So here's our approach, a big number. I can see experience points here. Name player, your 4 choices, your resources, and some details like, I don't know, appearance or anything else you can, your description. Cool. Very straightforward. Now, let's follow Justine here. What's she doing? Cause, ruin a corporation that is hiding, that's products are made in forced labor camps. Okay, the archenemy is Elaine Moscus, a ruthless CEO. So you give details after you choose your archenemy. Justine is going to be a gremlin. Powers affect machines, might be useful when you're fighting a high-tech startup. Makes sense. She's the real form is red, scaly skin, claws, and hairy ears. Very gremlin-like. And has her uses an especially sharp tongue, love to clown around, laugh at people. That's something that can cause trouble. And so our approach is at 3. So resources: a zip biker jacket, a set of tools, and a hideout in an old clock tower. Super cool. So the name is Deidre Udornain. She's a pretty woman with long black hair and tattoo. That's it. I think you can create a character after reading the options in like 10 minutes, unless you're like creating your own court or your own arcanum and causes. If you're choosing from the options from the book, and I tell you, I don't think you need anything more than that to at least for the first playthroughs. You can go ahead and just pick from the selections that are very flavorful, and you're ready to go very easily. Now on changelings, how does the body of changeling work? They don't grow old, tired. Their bodies are more resilient. They have their true form. It manifests when they use the power. Cold iron burns changelings like fire. Only their archenemy can truly destroy them. Injuries from all other sources are healed at one point or the other. Very cool. Okay. So you don't die easily unless you're confronting the big bad guy. Now, how does the mind works? Dial things to the maximum. They go all out. So we're talking about very intense characters. They can't lie. They can omit certain facts, avoid, twist their words, but a straight out lie is impossible. Cool. They can be easily deconcentrated. So okay, they everything fascinates them. Changelings will do everything they can to keep the world. Deals are very important. So with 4 aspects of the bodies and their minds, we have a little more flavor of how those are like role playing guidance, if you will. Now the double nature. Okay, so your approach fluctuates during play, if I understand this correctly. If you do something really banal, your approach decreases. If you do something really creative, your approach increases. What can help? What can cause the decreasing approach? A complication, murdering someone, like destruction of an art object, for example, breaking your word. Now, what will increase it? A complication using dreams, completing your cause, creating something unique, inspiring mortals. Now, I can see that there is a limit. And what happens if you reach? So it goes from 2 to 5 generally. But if it goes below 1, which means the extremely banality, the changeling forgets they're a fey creature and they become a normal human being. If they go above 6, so it's the extreme being, dreams, you cannot stay in this world any longer. The wild hunt appears and takes them into the strange lands from they will never return. So this is something you have to take care of during gameplay, which also says to me that wouldn't be wise to start the game choosing either a 2 or a 5 as your starting approach, unless you then direct your actions towards the other extreme point to avoid you going to exceeding those limitations. but it's a very specific way to have an ending game besides being destroyed by your enemy. I think this is very cool. When changing your approach's value, always mark one box on your experience track. Oh, very clever. Everyone at the table should agree to change when changing a challenge's approach. So, but oh, that's very unique. You change it. So, this is a very interesting game design choice because, in one way, you are giving those sets of limitations between 1 and 6 and telling you can't go further, so be careful. But on the other hand, you are incentivizing players to pursue these changes. That's why I suppose the author, in the very beginning of the explanation of the game, said that one core aspect is changelings are facing this duality. The game explores this kind of the conflict of this duality, right? And by incentivizing, rewarding players for fluctuating between humanity and fair folk, it incentivizes this behavior. It gives emphasis to this aspect of the duality in the fair folk. Very clever. So if you complete your goal, you have no reason to remain in this world. And you feel the call of your home. They can stay for a while, but only to help other changelings. So that's it. That's another game end. 4 possible ways to end your career here. Charms and wards. There are many superstitions regarding changelings. Sound of church bells makes them uncomfortable. Clothes worn inside out make people invisible for them. And 4-leaf clover protects from changeling powers. A vast majority of witchcraft methods work the same as folk tales describe them. That's cool. It's something that I'm not aware, I'm not familiar with, but those look very flavorful to include in your game. As players, maybe they know some other such methods. I know of like salt and things like that that I've seen in movies. Now, gameplay. In case of any doubts, read the how to play chapter in the White's manual. I don't have it here, so all we have is this game. Show the glimmers of hope and magic. Help your players. So this is for the narrator. Don't force your ideas and don't take the spotlight from them. Play to see what happens. Don't prepare an adventure. Okay, this is resonates with my style of gameplay. I don't like to prepare things. Ask questions and build on the answers. Challenge the players and let them come up with the solutions. Say yes or ask for a check. Let the checks divert the story. Help your players, but complicate things for their characters. So I see very clearly some Vincent Baker influence here. If you don't know what to do, check the aid section. That's very good. So it provides some help for the narrator. And here's character development. When you mark the third box, that one that we saw here, right there, what happens? You probably get another power, right? Remove the marks and add 1 dot to the power granted by your court. You mark the square when you have 0 successes in a check, so failure is incentivized. Call upon your gears to automatically fail a roll, or change your approach's value. So these are the 3 things that we are rewarding players for here. Have 0 successes in a check. So that means that the game is incentivizing you that you take risks, even if you don't have a great chance of success. and you're learning from your mistakes. That's something we can see in other in PBTA games like Dungeon World and so on. You can call upon your gears, so show your thing that causes trouble and fail, and also inviting drama, right? So if you choose to complicate your life, the life of your character, and make the story that's being told more interesting because of that, because you're showing you're not only succeeding, you're rewarded. And as we mentioned before, fluctuating between human form of human likes and fey likes. Now there's a sample gameplay. I appreciate this a lot. We're choosing a city and deciding what to do. I'm not going to read it, but it's very short, really, actually. But it displays a little bit of the setting, a little bit of the actions you can take, uh, calling for a role. Now, how do we roll? When you make checks, when the narrator isn't sure if you can do something, and then failure may interest the development of the story. Now, how you do it? You choose either dream or banality. You roll one, but you can add more if an ally is helping you, if you have a power that suits the situation, or an item that suits the situation. And then, as lasers and feelings, it depends. You roll over or under depending on your approach. Let's see the success. If you have zero success, you fail. One, it's barely succeed. There's a complication. Two, success. Three, you actually got more than you need, and you have a positive turn of events. Now, if you get exactly the your approach, you will receive a mystical vision from the realms of dreams. This is the same. That's standard lasers and feelings. You if you roll exactly your number, you get laser feelings, and you get to ask the narrator one question, such as, "Where is the Arch Enemy? How can we get inside?" and so on and so forth. So this is very thematic here because it's like you're calling upon the power of your realm, fairy realm. You can add something new and exciting to the scene. You can roll extra dice as well. And here there is an example of a check that builds upon the example of play that we saw on previous pages, just showing how you would roll. Now the game aids, collection of suggestions, inspirations. We have names, changeling, other, and Polish names. Very cool. Your arch enemy can have flaws and advantages. Bystanders, people you can find like NPCs, good neighborhood or wrong side of the track. So, and you can, I think, roll a d10 on those, although a d10 is not part of the game aids, but you might have one around, or you just can pick and choose. Then we have like organizations, legal and illegal, maybe like the factions your characters may encounter. 10 suggestions of cities where you can play the setting of your game. Now, city qualities. What are some aspects, flaws and advantages of your city? locations, places you can go, weapons, props, vehicles, complications. This is good for those mixed results when you get a single success and you don't have an idea for a specific complication. You can go ahead and look at this table. And also, if you get like three successes, that's a sample positive events, things that are extra that you get more than the original success. This is something that I would, if I would narrate this game, I would have with me at all times, for sure. We do have the character sheet at the end of the book. And that's it. It ends with the negras tormentas agitan los aires, nubes oscuras nos impiden ver. Aunque nos espera el dolor y la muerte, contra el enemigo nos llama el deber. This is A las Barricadas, Song of the Anarchists during the Spanish Civil War. So dark storms shake the earth, dark clouds stop us from seeing. Although the pain and death awaits us against the enemy, the duty calls us. That's a free translation here from the little Spanish I can understand. Very cool. So this is Changeling, the magic and the fury. Really enjoyed the game. Very clever use of the lasers and filling system. With I don't know, the white game uses the same like extremes for if you go below 1 or above 6 to end the career. But I think it's very thematic. And the way that this game incentivizes you doing this kind of things, in my opinion, really reinforces the theme of your conflict with this duality between humanity and the dreamland, the land of the fairies. So very well done. I definitely recommend it. You take a look. And that's it for today. If you liked what I did here, consider supporting the channel. There's a coffee link down below. And you also can buy my games on h.io. The link is also here. I released, the last game I released is Push, a system reference document that helps you create your GM list or solo games with even a 2-page template. You can just fill in the blanks and make your own game. So check this one out. It's free, right? And I'll leave here the link for you to get this game. This is the link. It's also on the video description if you can get it. And remember, it's part of the bundle for Ukraine. So if you get it now, you also help a good cause. All right. But for today, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I see you later. Bye-bye.